Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's been quite a while since I posted some content, or rather my artwork on my vehicles. And one of the vehicles that hasn't been covered greatly so far in my channel is my i10 Nios Turbo. Yes, this is a turbocharged 1 liter Nios. That is one of the rarest cars found in the market as of now, especially the used car market, because it's no longer in production right now. This is the new model that you see there, the Nios. Slight changes in with respect to the connected rear lights, and then there's design change in the mag wheels, and the rest of the design elements stays the same. But however, and also they've changed the instrument pod, and right now you have the tachometer in manual. The rest of the information here is displayed in digital, and that's what it is. So let me speak about my ownership experience so far. So we can see that it's done 23,497 kilometers on the odometer, and it's been extremely satisfying and fulfilling ownership because of the fact that it produces 100 bhp and 175 Newton meter torque. Yes, that's how fast this is. This is a sleeper car indeed. When people say, hear about me owning a i10 Nios, they're less impressed. But then I know what it is. I never tell them it's a turbo because it is a sleeper indeed. And this is the sport version. The turbo came only in the sport version. It has this, you could call it leather, but it is basically leatherette steering wheel, very comfortable to hold. And for once, a car that I bought has come with this factory fitted leather steering, and it really is very comforting to hold it, at least for that matter, because so far I've been getting it done from the aftermarket, because most of the times I usually go the base model. But because the i10 Turbo was available only in this trim, I had to buy it, and I don't complain. I don't want to complain about it. Okay, and then it has this 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system. You can see all menus. It's touchscreen. Let's go back to this. Pretty good, decent sound quality. Not too great, not too bad. In fact, I went ahead and did 4-door sound deadening, or rather, what do you call that? It's a sort of a sound insulation for the doors. I think there is a video on my channel when I did that, and that is there. And apart from that, it's been my regular daily driver, and this is the only car I have, in fact. Okay, so far I have no complaints whatsoever. I just want to talk to you about the power and the kind of feel you get when you drive this car. That is when it's very empowering. You can overtake without any stress. You'll be very confident because you're sure-footed in terms of the kind of power it delivers, and then you are sure to overtake, and you are sure to be safe, if you know what I mean. Okay, I've always advocated high-power vehicles to the roads because they keep you safe. Okay, low-powered vehicles are what can get you mowed down or rear-ended most of the times, if not anything less. So keeping those things in mind, let me talk about the gear shift and the gear shift mechanism and how it feels. See, it has a 5-speed manual gearbox only, alright? It's 5-speed, but this is more than adequate. The reason why I'm saying this is it's extremely tall compared to any other car for that matter. This is one of the tallest 5-speed gearboxes that have ever been manufactured, alright? So I could sit at 2000 RPM at 95 kilometers per hour, plus or minus 3 to 4 kilometers. That is, let's consider some speedometer error into the calculations, and that is, I think, a very comfortable spot for it to sit. And at a touch of a throttle, it will definitely, simply without complaining, pull you all the way through 145 kmph. That's the max I've done so far. It could even go beyond like 160 and 170, but I haven't touched because, as you know, our roads aren't safe enough for doing such things. Okay, our roads aren't safe enough to do such speeds. It does push you back in the seat when you open it up, So let's enjoy this drive. I'm hoping the roads are a bit clear up ahead now, and then we can continue the drive review. I'm just waiting for this Volvo XC60 to make way, and then I can just, there is another speed hump on this highway, which is a pain in the, you know, where they shouldn't have speed bumps on highways, man. This is bad, really bad. So one of the best parts of it being a small car is you can really squeeze it into small lanes and overtake like there's no tomorrow. It's amazing. And the flexibility you get with a small car is very, let's say, underappreciated. It's very zippy, and yeah, one thing I've loved about this car is the direct steering feel. It's like I said, it's millimeter sharp compared to the Jimny. Of course, I'm not comparing, apples to apples. I mean, you appreciate your car more when you drive certain other cars and then realize the kind of gem you actually have with you, right? So look at the way it just picks up. Simple. And there is a gear shift indicator out here, but to be honest, if you put it in that, it starts to boom a little bit, because I think that computer, the trip computer or whatsoever it is tuned for fuel economy, but it doesn't feel right to ride on high gears in low speed, to be honest. Okay, now I'll shift it into 5th gear, and let's take a look at the RPM. So like I said, 94 kilometers, around 2000 RPM, and that's what it is maintaining, plus or minus 3-4 kilometers, as I mentioned earlier. And we continue. Right, so it feels very nimble and nippy. It just clips. You want speed, you have it. You want power, you have it. You want to overtake, no problem, you can do it. Okay, so yeah, I'm sticking to the 5th gear right now, and just making things work, and as simple as that, the turbo just kicks in. The turbo has a very wide band in this car. It starts from as low as 1000 RPM. It kicks in at as low as 1000 RPM according to what I've seen. Okay, it might be different on the papers, and it will continue till 3000 RPM, okay, and beyond too. Okay, and not that I haven't, the fact that I haven't tried going beyond 140 kilometers per hour, I cannot really tell you how it is beyond 4000 RPM, but this is what it is as of now. The best part is, in a densely populated, or rather the worst part for this car, being in a densely populated highway, or being in a city with high traffic, it just doesn't make any sense to be driving this, to be honest, because you brake, you change your gears, and then you keep moving, because I feel the burden of the clutch after a while. It's not that it's too hard, it is adequate. It's not too soft either, not Maruti soft as such, but it is it does require a bit of an effort. So that grows onto you when you are in bumper to bumper traffic, or this idiotic stupid traffic that you see around here because of this density, because each of these variables on the roads will have their own unique needs. They want to do a flip, they want to do a left, right, they want to launch like a rocket or whatever it is. Each variable on the road has their own each unique need. Okay, so keeping that rant aside, what I was talking about is this car is meant for the highway. That's what I wanted to say. So I sorry for beating around the bush. This is a highway tool. Okay, a single man or maybe a 2 people highway tool. Easy peasy Japanesey. Of course it's Korean, but then to keep it rhyming, that's what it is. And here you go. This is not what you would enjoy driving in this car. Okay, being a manual transmission turbocharged car, definitely not meant for this. And the machines being abused, and all of these, I'll tell you, 100% of all the breakdown you see here on the roads in our country is user inflicted. Okay, the user, it may be the owner of the vehicle or the driver of the vehicle, it's all because of them, because they don't maintain their vehicles. That's what it is all about. Yes. All right, so let's continue with the drive review. This is what it is. As far as I've spoken till now, it's an amazing highway tool. I love driving it, and it's been giving me a fuel efficiency of 14 kilometers per liter. Okay, let me just toggle through this. It has a, see right now, yes, 14, and it is accurate. It's accurate to the kilometer, maybe plus or minus 1 kilometer at times, but it is accurate. So this is a mixture of both highway and the city mileage. And if I may tell you, I think in the highways you could expect around 2 to 3 more kilometers per liter, because of it being a highway drive, that is, okay, lesser gear changes, and the turbo being spooled at decent pressure. Okay, so this is what I would like to conclude as, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, or any other fellow Nios turbo owners, I think we are a rare breed as of now, because this car sold in limited numbers. Would be happy to connect with you guys. Okay. Oh guys, I forgot to mention the way this car handles. When I was talking about the steering being millimeter sharp, I should have spoken about the way this car handles. This chassis is equivalent to the Maruti Suzuki Zen I had way back then, one of my first cars. Then it is also equivalent to the Honda Brio. Need I say more about the Honda Brio? And then it's also as good as a Volkswagen Mio, but Volkswagen Mio had a shitty suspension, but this has the perfect suspension, not too soft, not too stiff. It grips the road very well. It sits like a frog, and I love it. Okay, it's shot with 175 60 R15s, and very happy with it, because I'm not that much of a ustad driver like others who claim that the tires are very skinny. But it's perfect for the kind of driving I do, and I love it. So this is what I wanted to put it on the record in this particular video. And the brakes are also pretty sharp and excellent. Sometimes when you're parked it for long, it might bite extremely sharply when you just start running it, but then pretty soon it kind of wipes the disc clean, and then you are able to predict the braking and its bite. The initial bite is sharp during certain periods when you parked it for a long time. Otherwise it is great, and it performs pretty well. So I wanted to put this part in because the handling of the car makes it, I think it weighs in a lot for me in terms of ownership of a car. Okay, the previous Ignis that I have, okay, nice and cute and very economical car that it was. The only problem is, as a single driver in that particular car, I felt very unsafe. Okay, because it was jumping around like a rabbit, and only if 5 people sat in it, it would behave well on the highways. But here in this car, me being a solo driver and sitting alone still gives way better output than my Ignis. Of course, I shouldn't have compared it with Ignis, but then it's as good as a Volkswagen, as good as a Volkswagen Polo for that matter. Okay, with a sportier setup and sportier suspension. I'm not sure if it's the same case with the Nios naturally aspirated versions, but for the turbo, this is how it is. I am guessing that they have stiffened the suspension and worked on it because of the heavier weight of this particular turbocharged engine. So that might be it. That might be the, let's say, the magic portion of this particular car. But I'm loving it, and I'm extremely happy with its high speed performance. Okay, 140, 150, sometimes when I touch those speeds, it doesn't feel scary at all. I feel excellently in control of the situation, and that is what is such a rewarding experience of driving a car like this. Okay, so the most important part, the handling, is amazing. I mean, I would say I would give it 9 on 10 so far as my experience with automobiles or cars is concerned. Yes.